Good evening, everyone. This is Yong. Good evening to the board of the directors, to the stakeholder of the companies. My name is Yong, the host of the meeting today to present about the impacts of pandemics towards Malaysia and what we're going to do to survive throughout the pandemics and how we can recover from it. So let's start for the meetings. The tourism in Malaysia is all the world's a great economic impact to its Malaysia, that we have 13.3% of the total GDP contributions and 86.14 billion total spendings, expenditures scanning from the foreign tourism in Malaysia. Also, we have 1.5 billion total jobs supported from the tourism and a high number of the SMEs in Malaysia. So we can definitely say that the tourism in Malaysia are giving a hard push to the economics, toward the economic in Malaysia, direct or indirect, towards the Malaysia's economics. However, this until the breakout of the COVID-19, which you can see that the sales is in decline. A lot of industrial are at a standstill. Although the government has providing wages subsidies up to 1.2 billion to all the companies and company SMME in Malaysia, but those companies are still thinking to liquidations and retrenchment to their businesses because they have short of cash flow and a lot of other factors. And the statistics showing that 35% of the tourism businesses are closed temporarily or permanently. Not just the tourism's industrial got affected, but also the others industrial or the Malaysians. The impact toward the tourism's beyond the tourism is that we can see there's 951,000 lost jobs in total throughout Malaysia from different industrial like agriculture, manufacturing, banking, chemical, and so on. The source are from the international labor organizations. And so today we're going to discuss what we're going to do in terms of short term and long term to survive and recover from the COVID-19 pandemics. First, by flattening the curve, we are urged to providing the hotel accommodations to the quarantines and isolations needed persons, and accommodation to the essential workers and repatriations in and outbound travels. By doing so, we are in need to coming out a comprehensive protocols to proceed all these businesses. So this is a comprehensive sector protocols we developed to allow us continue to operating while the COVID-19 is operating. So first thing first, we have the access control, which we have closure, the gyms, the swimming pool, all these facility has been closed down. And we are practicing the standard SOP from the government, which we have the temperatures, scanning, gas questionnaire scanning at the entrance, and all guests and workers are compulsory to wearing the mask by all. As well, we also practicing the social distancing, which we have the queue system, no less than 1.5 meter towards between each others. And the dining capacity as well, we have restricted to 50%, which following the SOP from the government. By do so, we need to have a process for the employee. For example, we are going through the employee trainings to all the staff to how to following the SOP, and we have getting this sanitizations process throughout the whole hotel, like high touch point, deep cleansings, and pest control. Beside that, last but not least, we also have these health and safety interventions, which we are hired the educational signage. We have built up a new department which we call staff hygiene resources to handle all these process to monitor and from time to time to manage from time to time to monitors whether the SOP is following and the guideline are anyone's breaching the guidelines. And also we are involved the internal and third party audits with the record linking, so to make sure we are not breaching the rules and law. Beside that, there is a need for us to source for the second income as for long term. As you can see, the COVID-19, there's an outbreak of the COVID-19 not just from the beginnings of the from the virus of the beginnings, but now we have also the Delta virus all over the world. The cases is going mad in Malaysia, not just Malaysia, but others country as well. There is a need for us to solve for the second income, especially the tourism industry. So we have did some research within the tourism, which we has compared the domestic and the foreign tourism. You can see there's a huge differences of the numbers for the tourists in domestic and the foreign. By year 2019, we are seeing that 26.1 million foreign tourism arrivals, but for the domestic tourists, we are seeing 239.1 million numbers of the tourist visitors. And yet for the spendings for the domestic, there are total travel spending up to 103.2 billion, which is not so much lesser than the compared to the foreign expenditure, which is 66.1 billion. And therefore, there is a hope for us to build up the domestic industrial, the inbound tourism industrial. So we have listed out all these domestic tourism and leisure activity that can be doing that can allow to going through, which allowed to be accessed in locals, which we have the meeting, training in corporate office, restaurant in the hotel, gas, and also some outdoor activity, for example, tour guiding, hunting, hiking, recreationals, fishing and kayaking in Malaysia. So all these are the activities that we can use to expand our businesses, to extend our businesses to the inbound industrial. There is also some phases that we are preparing up to date. Here's the timeline and the recovery strategy, which we will starting from the leisure phase, which is the current phase. For the domestic leisure phase, some restaurant and small meetings or exhibitions are allowed, and so we are focusing on this. We are preparing quite some packaging and the offer benefits to the people around, and leisure travels in all modes and distance, safe attraction activities, and control liquid sales for the leisure phase. And for the expansion phase, which the near future, we are foreseeing the progressive increasing of meeting size from 100 to 500. The small event like distancing and sanitizing, which we will proceed the distancing and sanitizing for the small event and increase the restaurant capacities. And for the international, right now is the preparation phase, which are still under the research and investigation because there is restriction for the borders. For the borders line, there's a lot of restriction for the overseas or the foreigner to be traveled, and so we remain flexible to the potential changing of the plans, and also from time to time we are checking out with the governments on how the procedure and how the policies are changing. But for the closure phase, which we name it trial phase, we are preparing the clear package offer with resort, lodge, bubbles, and we maximize the reserve or open space for the open air activities, which can be proceed in the low risk areas and independent business travel. So up to date, now we are having this tourism industrial recovery strategies and also the comprehensive protocol that allow us to that allow us to continue operating in Malaysia. So in the hotel, so we are hoping to see the recovery from time to time, and we have this monitoring phase to enhance and to complete the whole process towards. So that's all for today's. Thank you for attending the discussions. If you have any questions, please do please send up for questions, or if you have any recommendation that you can present, do share us. Thank you for attending.